Wow, this is different. Doing a show that's starting at 7 o'clock at night. Could you imagine this? Pretty cool. And as such, I have my blue blockers on. We'll talk about more why that is in just a couple seconds, as I'm joined by my guest all the way from the opposite side of the world, Andy Mant. How you doing, Andy?
I'm great, Carl. Thanks for having me on, and hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, so you don't have blue blockers on because it's 7 o'clock in the morning where you are.
It is, yeah. I've only got just a sort of normal glasses on because I'm sat in.
You want to wake up. You want to wake up now.
I want to wake up. Sunlight. It's a nice hot autumn day here in Australia. So yeah, all is good in the world.
Cool. And so we're talking about blue blocking glasses tonight, but we want to expand the discussion, and the reason we're going to expand the discussion is really because of you. Something that you started saying a long time ago about green light too, and we're going to get into that in a second. But I'm always surprised. Probably the number one reason that people reach out to me through the show is a result of either direct or indirect sleep problems. A majority of Americans, and I would venture to say majority of Europeans and Australians and New Zealanders that are living a modern lifestyle have horrible sleep. Am I right about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just in Australia alone, I think it's a third of the population.
And when we hear that, people just kind of write it off like, oh, so you're not sleeping well. Big deal. Get over it, But the reality is, excuse me, that this hurts productivity. This increases accidents. People make really bad life choices when they're tired and they can't think straight.
Yeah.
This is a big thing. I mean, we talk about, and I think I may have mentioned this to you. I've mentioned this to a lot of people over the years. I blame the movie Wall Street, where Bud Fox is talking to Gordon Gekko being Michael Douglas, and Bud Fox being I can't think of his name, Charlie Sheen, and Gordon Gekko was just trading in China, and he tells Bud Fox, Bud, you don't make any money when you're asleep. And all of a sudden, people started thinking to themselves, "Wow, sleep is optional. We really don't need sleep. Maybe we can just ignore that. Like, if you really want to be successful, you got to grind. You got to." And the reality is that people's impaired sleep quality is leading to diseases, right?
Absolutely. And it's like, sleep is so important because we run processes throughout the day, metabolic processes, using adenosine triphosphate, so ATP, as most of your listeners will understand what that is. And the byproduct of ATP is something called adenosine, and it's stored in the brain when we run metabolic processes. And what sleep does, it actually clears out all that buildup of waste material from all the metabolic processes that you do during the day. So if you're not sleeping at night, and you're, even if you're not even active during the day, you're still going to run these metabolic processes, and you're still going to have buildup of waste material in the brain. And if you're not clearing that out, you're going to suffer the consequences later in life with things like, dementia, Alzheimer's, fatigue, stress, depression, anxiety. So, it's such an important thing, sleep, Carl.
Two nights. So there was a study, one of the earliest studies that kind of turned me on to being more interested in my sleep when I had really gotten sick back in like 2005. I was just starting the show, and I didn't want to start the show because I didn't feel good, but I thought I got to start it. I was working towards it for months.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. And I started to do research on sleep. And so, I remember one of the earliest studies I read was impaired thyroid function after just 2 days of short sleep cycles by interns in hospitals, physicians that have to do a 24-hour shift or a 36-hour shift. And, just that completely tanked their thyroid. TSH levels just plummeted, and the thyroid shut down, and T4, T3, all the downstream thyroid hormone just stopped. And I thought that was just after 2 days. There are people that work a graveyard shift for 13 years. They all end up with cancer. The rate of colon cancer, the rate of every single type of cancer, leukemia, skyrockets when you look at somebody who doesn't sleep. They work a graveyard shift. Colon cancer triples, breast cancer triples or quadruples in women that work graveyard shifts that are in casinos and serving cocktails all night long. You can't impair sleep. You must worship sleep. I track my sleep, Andy, 3 different ways. I sleep with an Aura ring. I sleep with the Sleep On ring. And then I have a tracker on my iPhone. I put it on airplane mode, and it records the sounds it hears, the motions, and if I snore, and I triangulate all this data, because that's how I got myself healthy in 2005. I fixed my sleep, and I became super. I became bulletproof. I protected my sleep for years, and it changed my life. And there's so many people out there who would be so much better off if they understood how to protect their sleep. And the first thing to protecting your sleep is blue blocking glasses. And the reason for that is we live in a world of modernity. Look at me. I'm at 7 p.m. I'm sitting in front of 2 monitors with artificial light all around me. That would have never happened in ancestral times. When it got dark out, it got dark inside too. You had a fire, but that was about it. But today we can blast our body with all this light, and the body thinks, oh, it's still daytime. And then you go and you get in bed at 10 o'clock, and you think your body's going to flip a switch because you want to go to sleep. It's not prepared. There's a process to getting to sleep. And blue blocking glasses actually allow you to reestablish that while you're still watching television and doing the things that make modern life so cool. They allow you to go to sleep and sleep better. And there are so many people who still don't know this, Andy.
It is so true. It's like it's not even scratched the surface. And we're fortunate enough that your listeners are disruptive thinkers, and they won't they go out and actually start looking at this themselves and come into their own conclusions. But it's such a simple hack to do, yet no one is understanding why they're not sleeping very well. They think oh, I'm in a stressful job, or the kids are causing me to be stressed, or maybe I'm always sick, so that's why I can't sleep. But they're not looking at the root problems and root causes of these issues. And it's very evident that we all run as mammals on a 24-hour clock. So our circadian rhythm is synced and entrained by the rising sun, and it's also light cues throughout the day and at the night, sort of in the absence of light, actually tells the brain via the pineal gland, via the skin, into the suprachiasmatic nucleus, what time of the day it actually is. And if we disrupt that circadian rhythm by having light at the wrong times of the day, we're going to have a massive hormonal mismatch in our body. We're going to have high elevated levels of cortisol constantly. Melatonin's not going to be secreted as optimally. So we're going to have bad sleep, and we're going to have less growth and repair in our cells. And that goes back to what you were saying earlier, that cancer rates are higher, and other chronic diseases are higher in people.
Type 2 diabetes. Type 2. You can become spontaneous type 2 diabetic by just getting 4 hours of sleep a night or less for like 5 days, and you end up with the sugar control of like a 90-year-old. Yeah, and I'm not exaggerating. That's actually true. That study was done when the Olympics were in California. It was done at the Olympics training camp. I want to say in Washington State, I guess it was, right? Oregon. Where was the last U.S. Olympics? I can't think of what it is. It was in the Northwest. And they actually took Olympic athletes and they slept them. They made them sleep 6 hours or less a night. And they became almost insulin resistant, like 90-year-olds. They said they had the glucose management potential of a 90-year-old at that point in time. Real study. You could look it up.
Yeah, read the study myself. It's so true. And there's also one where they shine the light on people during their sleep as well. So even if you're exposed whilst you're sleeping, it's causing an issue with insulin resistance. And it's the same study you mentioned is the one that when I was working with on a project with the Australian national soccer team to help fight jet lag and increase performance for their World Cup qualifiers back in sort of October 2017, that was the study that we brought to their attention and said, look, you need to be managing the light of these players and the environment that they're in. Footballers, soccer players, I guess as you guys would call them, they're always on their computer games after dark because they just want to use it as a downtime.
Like big kids. They're like big kids.
Exactly. So we had to slap these glasses on them and then they were fine. So it's a massive issue, and it's, yes, sleep is very important. And the reason why sleep is important is because it protects you against all these chronic diseases that we're talking about. Like a lot of people, and rightly so, think that nutrition is the be all and end all for health and wellness. But actually, when you start looking at light, managing light correctly is just as important, and it all comes as a package.
No, absolutely. And these are easy things you can do. These are simple things that you can do that are small, that will have a huge impact on your health and your well-being. So most people don't realize that blue blocking glasses can actually improve their sleep. And everybody that I talk to, when I get them into go ahead and buy a pair of blue blockers, I promise you, and they all say the same thing. Oh my God, I'm sleeping so well. I didn't think I was sleeping bad to begin with. Sleep architecture is visible. Changes in sleep architecture are visible if I sleep with or without my blue blockers. So then there's nights where Elisa and I will end up downstairs in the TV room to watch a particular show that we tape. We tape a lot of BBC shows, quite frankly. And I'll not want to run upstairs, especially when my foot was in bad shape. I didn't want to have to run up to the 3 stories up to go get my blue blockers. And I thought, we're going to bed in an hour. I'll just put them on and read for a while. No. So deep sleep latency increases. The time that I actually start my first drop into deep sleep is pushed out by at least 45 minutes. And the period of time I spend in deep sleep is shorter. And the period I spend in light sleep throughout the night is greater. And even REM sleep is less repetitive. Well, it's actually up here. REM sleep is less repetitive. So it affects the entire night of sleep. And I wake up in the morning and I feel like I was on the edge of sleep all night. And then I don't forget, like tonight, I took my glasses here because I'm going to be on the air at 7 o'clock. And usually I put my glasses on at 7 to go to bed by 9. By 9 o'clock, if I put my glasses on by 7, I'm yawning at 9 o'clock. I'm ready I want to go to bed. I'm like, man, I want to go to bed. If I don't get that sensation. That little trick makes me wake up in the morning. Let's face it, this is the goal. Feeling good. Like, I'm ready for the day. I slept good. I feel like I know I slept good. Then I check my apps and I check my Oura Ring and my Sleep On Ring. I'm like, wow, look at this. Every pulse ox was 98 all night long. Very few movements in my sleep. Lots of deep sleep. Lots of REM sleep. I remember dreaming. No snoring. I'm like, no wonder why I feel so good today. But it all starts with these glasses, and these specifically.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, Carl, that it's all very well like people saying like, oh, I've got a pair of blue blockers, but you've got to actually delve into the science and actually question how your blue blocking glasses were built as well. The reason I founded Blue Blocks, for instance, was because I wasn't happy with the quality of the lens in line with what the academic literature was saying we should have to block after dark. So I grabbed a load of cheap glasses from eBay, from Amazon, from some of the other more popular brands that are out there as well. And I got my partners over here in our optics lab to run a test through their spectrometer. And literally, no word of a lie, no exaggeration here, none of them even blocked enough blue light because you've got to block all blue light, 100% of it, otherwise they're useless. And when you actually look through the literature, there's some really, really good studies out there that I can send. I can link them to this if there's show notes, etc., that actually show that green light up until 550 nanometers also has exactly the same effect that blue light does on suppressing your melatonin. So you might be buying these blue blockers or so-called blue blockers from Amazon for like $20 or whatever, putting them on, and you'll see a little bit of improvement in your sleep, but are you going to be
you'll actually see blue, like you'll put them on and you'll be like, oh, I can't see blue, but you can still see green. And I remember I asked you that, or when I first got you were kind enough to send these to me a year ago, and I have beat these glasses up. I was an optician. I went to school for to be a contact lens fitter and an optician. And so I know what a good barrel hinge is on a frame. I know what strong temples are. These are really, really, I wish I didn't take them off. These are really well made. Everything was so bright when I took them off. These are really well made. And on top of that, the lenses don't scratch. Some nights I missed the nightstand. I just drop them on the floor. I'll get them in the morning. these lenses don't scratch. These lenses are amazing. But more importantly, these lenses are a different color than any other blue blocking glasses I've seen out there. They are, they have a, you can see the color in my frame, in my camera. They're like almost a fluorescent amber color, the lenses. And they do block blue and green. And we're going to show an image here, if you'll humor me. So this is, I happen to have a light spectrometer on my phone, a spectrum analyzer. And because I'm always checking my environment, I'm really interested in this. Like, I'm like you, like, this really intrigues me. What can if I'm checking it all the time, I may discover something, you know? Yeah. So tonight before the show, I just went ahead and popped, and you can see right there in the middle, this is, you can see the wedges there. You can see the blue and the green. They're pretty nice pie slices there, right? That's emanating from my environment, right, sitting right here. Now, watch this. Let me drop this one down. And let me pop this one up. This is through blue blocks. Look, the blue and the green are both completely gone, not just the blue. Look at that. That is the difference in these glasses. And I'm saying this because those of you in the audience may have blue blocking glasses like I did. I bought the cheap Uvex for $8. I thought, oh, yeah, what am I going to buy expensive glasses for? I'll just buy these cheapies. And sure enough, they blocked blue, but they never really blocked green. I could still see green through them. But once I got these, everything changed. And my sleep improved over wearing the Uvex. So those of you out there who already have blue blocking glasses, you really need to get a pair of blue blocks, because Andy did this right. And the image shows it. There's no denying that. One had nice pie slices of blue and green, and the blue and green are completely gone looking through these lenses. And the green is just as important, as you point out, in actually causing some sleep disruption.
So. Yeah, that's so true. And it's, yeah, a lot of people don't realize this. And it's like, you know, it takes a while to get out into the mainstream and filter into the, into people, you know, that have, I guess, the influence on others as well. I mean, you knew about this for the last sort of couple of years, Carl, but, you know, it's great now that we can actually finally tell people that, you know, this is actually, you know, what the academic literature is saying. You know, it's not a case of just blue light, and it's green, and it makes complete sense, because like you said earlier, what did our ancestors do after dark? You know, they would have had a campfire. They maybe would have had, like, you know, small fires for light. And what colors do they give off? Orange and red and a little bit of yellow, which, when you again look at the academic literature out there, plenty of studies showing it, doesn't suppress melatonin. It's only the blue and the green.
The green.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I think is interesting about you is that most people came to market with a pair of blue blocking glasses. They tried to come up with a frame design that would suit women and men, which is an impossibility, by the way. Yeah. And that was it. They just came out with one. But you've got so many different styles. So you've actually taken blue blocking glasses and made them kind of in vogue. I see people wearing them just to wear them now, because they're so nice. The different styles of frames that you have.
I know so many people now wear them outside. Like the amount of pictures that we've got of happy people sending pictures in of them out for dinner, you know, walking down the street at night with their dog when it's like dark, and no one's like really ashamed to wear them outside anymore. And we like, that was our mission as well. We wanted to actually make blue light blocking fashionable. Rather than people, you know, science geeks, you know, slapping on the Uvex after dark. You know, we wanted to make a better lens, but also stick it in, you know, high quality, high fashion frames as well, and give people the choice. And we're going to build up those frames as well. I think we've got sort of 10 to choose from at the moment, but we're about to launch another collection of another 3 or 4 frames. So, you know, we want to have people, you know, going through and choosing exactly what they want.
Right.
And another thing as well, Carl, that we do, which is grown from strength to strength, and I don't know if you even know this yet, because I haven't mentioned it to you. In the last 6 weeks, we've sold hundreds through this method. Is people can actually send us their own frames, and we'll make them into blue blocks for them as well.
Prescription blue blocks, you mean?
No.
Just fit their favorite frame with these lenses.
Yeah, it can be.
That's brilliant.
Non-prescription. So you can have an old pair of Gucci sunglasses that you don't wear anymore, and we can make them into blue blockers for you. So, you know, it's even if there's a frame on the website you don't want, or you've got a real comfortable pair of frames that you want to use, send them to us, and we'll make them into blue blockers for you with the best lenses.
Wow, that's really interesting. That's really going above and beyond customer service, because that's got to be a more of a hand-holding, laborious process to get someone's frames and have them, fitted with your lenses, and because that whole process of cutting them and making them fit, that takes a human being to do. I mean,
it does,
yeah. So you have an optician that's doing this for you.
100%, yeah. And this is the thing. This is why, if you go to Amazon or eBay or buy your UVEX, these are all just mass produced in a massive Chinese warehouse. There's no attention to details, no quality. They're cheap, they're, really horrible, clunky on your face. Whereas, we use Australian, our partners have a lab. They understand the science and the quality. There's a 3-tiered quality control process as well. So that's why they're more expensive, because you're getting quality, you're getting the checks, but you're also getting the correct technology put in each and every time.
So let me talk about that. And it's a really good point. When you buy cheap glasses, because even a plano lens has a center. And that center has to line up with your pupil. In the case of a plano lens, it's because the curvature of the lens needs to be with the curvature of the eye. So that every lens has what's known as an optical center. And you usually measure someone's pupil diameters.
Yes.
And you cut the lenses so that the center of the lenses are right over their pupils. If you don't do this, especially with cheap lenses, they'll have a little bad base curve here and there. They may have a quarter of a diopter of actual correction in them, because they're cheap. The tolerances, they're grinding these things 1,000 a minute. So they're not worried about the one that has a half a diopter, and it just goes out. And so you put that on, and everybody's experiences, if you've ever bought cheap sunglasses at the beach for $1, all of a sudden everything's like wonky. You feel like, man, I feel like I'm a little dizzy. The floor looks a little curved. Like, I don't want to wear these. They're giving me a headache. That's called prism imbalance. Yeah. You don't have that with these. These are perfect. I mean, these lenses are high quality lenses. They're ground properly. They're cut properly for the size of this eye. I mean, they really are. They really, really are. And that's a good point you make, because you can buy some really cheap, crappy glasses, and they may be blue blockers, but who cares if you get nauseous wearing them for an hour and watching television?
Yeah, exactly. It's no good to anyone. You want to be able to enjoy the advances in technology and watch your soaps or your documentaries on TV after dark, and you're not going to be wanting to do that wearing a pair of cheap blue blockers where you're wanting to vomit after about an hour of wearing them, because they like you said, the diopters are out, and the prism is not correctly aligned. So that's why it's so important. That there's an old adage that goes around that says that if you buy cheap, you buy twice. So you just need to go for the best, and you need to make sure that you do your due diligence as well. Just speak to the company before you buy them, because if you're on Amazon and you're on eBay, you're just buying from some sort of used car salesman that doesn't even know what these glasses do. They're just trying to make a quick buck. Whereas, Blue Blocks has a wealth of experience in actually researching the literature on all this, and can answer any questions technically or non-technically for you. So, just make sure that, you do your due diligence.
So, but these aren't really that expensive. I guess you're up against the UVEX guys out there, right? People are looking at you and going, why do I want to pay? What would these glasses cost the person, the ones I'm wearing?
So in US dollars, about $99.
Okay, so people are going to go, why do I want to pay you $99 when for $12 I can get a pair of UVEX? But the reality is that the UVEX gets scratched up. I had to buy more and more because they easily scratch. They have terrible aberrations in the lenses. The lenses are horrible. They're safety glasses. They're designed not for you to sit and watch television or work on the computer through. They're designed for you to put on because you're going through an industrial environment, and they don't want to get sued because you get a splinter in your eye from the lathe over there. They're not. They're not supposed to be easy to see through. They're just supposed to be hard to get stuff to go through them. That's all they are.
No, that is so true. And, the big thing as well, UVEX have actually been run through our lab grade spectrometer as well. And the results are actually on our website. and they actually block only 98% of blue light and 86% of green light. So, you know, they're not even, you can't even compare them to blue blocks, because we've run ours through a lab grey spectrometer, and we block 100% of blue light and 100% of green light to 550 nanometers. So, you know, you've got to, you've got to completely, like, they're two completely different products, Carl. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, one doesn't like do anything in line with science, and the other one does. Like,
and why? Okay, so you feel good that you got a pair of glasses for $12 plus shipping, but if they're not doing what you want them to do, why even spend the $12? Don't even bother. And the other thing is, as I mentioned to you, Dave Asprey has a pair of glasses called Night Walkers, and he was kind enough to send me a pair, and I can't wear them. I mean, because they're so dark,
yeah,
and everything you see through them is only red, and it's a dark red, and it's like I would worry about walking into a wall wearing those glasses. It's not practical. I mean, sure, maybe they do cut out 100% of all light. You know, who knows? But what good is it? I can't do anything in them. Once I put them on, I got to go stand in the corner and wait to go to sleep like a bat. I got to just stand there because you can't do anything once you put them on. You can't see. You walk outside in the street and get hit by a car.
You're spot on, Carl. The amount of people that have come and bought blue blocks because they cannot see anything through true dark is astronomical. You know, they obviously do what they say on the tin. They block in line with the science, but they block too much. They go too far the other way. So what you're getting is you might as well switch off all your lights, not wear blue blockers and sit in complete darkness. I've worn them. And they block too much. It's not necessary to block that much.
Well, so I made a joke. Darcy Clark says, do they make you look like Arnold's Terminator vision? Yeah, kind of. They really do, actually, but without the graphics, so that you can still navigate your life. You know, look, I mean, I can sell you, glasses with aluminum in them. And technically, they're blocking all the light that would keep you awake. I mean, I could just put masking tape over your eyes and go, "We're done. Yeah. That's it." But you can't live. You can't do anything. You got to go to sleep. But blue blocks, the blue blocks, I watch TV with them. They don't affect me. And Elisa has a pair of glasses that were not cheap, and we compared them, and they don't block the green. They just block the blue. And so I was like, "See, it doesn't. You know, everybody's capitalizing on this new phenomenon, and but they're all selling you these cheap yellow lenses, you know, like shooting glasses. Everybody thinks, shooting glasses are yellow. I'll just wear shooting. No, they don't block blue and green light. They just make everything look yellow.
It's so true. Yeah, exactly. And you know, yellow, you know, you don't have the yellow lenses for after dark, because again, they won't block the blue. They won't block the green. They'll just reduce it down. And you know, it's an all or nothing science light. You know, even if you've got a small amount of the light going into your eyes at the wrong wavelength, then you know you're going to have major issues. You know, not going to be optimal. And a lot of people as well. Another thing to say here: a lot of people talk about peripheral light, Carl, and they say that but you need wraparound glasses to stop the light actually going through the.
I don't think so. I disagree.
I disagree as well. And actually,
anyone who wears sunglasses knows that's not true, because you put on sunglasses and you don't go squinting, even though you got your glasses on, because the light is bouncing off of the wall over there and hitting you obliquely. It's not because that light doesn't enter the iris. It just goes past it. It doesn't enter the iris to begin with.
Yep, exactly that. Exactly. And you explained it in such good layman terms there, because I was going to go into the science and explain why. But yeah, it's basically a matter of light angle, and actually where the eye's photoreceptors are located within the retina is actually quite deep into the
the back. Just the back.
Yeah,
just the back.
Exactly.
And that incident light is hitting the side, which is just your sclera, the inside of your eye, and there's no receptors there. It's not affecting it, and it's not bouncing off and you know, it's not bouncing around in there and eventually getting to the retina. It just doesn't. Yeah, I know. This was a life at one time for me. Yeah, I don't think I can remember any of my formulas from physics. I had to take 2 semesters of the physical nature of light. I had to take 3 semesters of anatomy and physiology of the skull and the eye. That's a different life. I can't even think back that far now. It's funny. That was college. So you have a special offer for my audience, right? There is some discounts that you're offering tonight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm a long-term fan of the show, and I wanted to give something back. So yeah, we've done up a code for 15% off. So screw the $99. You'll be paying more in the 80s for a pair if you utilize this offer. So we've done a code of SHR 15. So just like Superhuman Radio. So SHR 15, stick that in at checkout, and you're going to get yourself 15% off as well. So we'll keep that open for, it'll be evergreen, so if people listen to this in 3 years' time when it starts hitting the mainstream medias, because they're always so far behind, then
right.
they can grab themselves a pair then. So, it's the least I can do for everyone. And it's just such a good investment. Like you said, these glasses are so durable.
I don't know why everyone doesn't have a pair of blue blocking glasses. Consider everybody's got a big screen TV. They've got their MacBooks. They've got their, iPhones are up against their face. Their tablets are up against their face at night. They're reading in bed with their tablets. It's like, and you don't have blue blockers on. And I hate, what really drives me crazy? The guy who says, well, I turned that feature on my iPhone that it turns yellow at night. How does that help you when you're watching your TV? Oh, well, exactly. It doesn't. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah. That was a good comeback. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, so many people say that. Oh, I have night mode on my phone.
Yeah.
Actually, again, we have tested night mode. Doesn't block all blue. Doesn't block any green. So it's like it doesn't even work. And also, there's loads of other little ambient sources of blue light in your house. Okay, so the TV is the main one. Your house lights are another one. What happens if the neighbors have got their lights on outside? What happens if a car drives past your window with headlights on? What happens if you want to go and grab something to eat from the fridge? What color's the light in there? Gives out blue light. So, there's lots of other little ambient sources, the dishwasher, the microwave.
I got one for you. I got one for you that if it wasn't for me playing with this spectrum analyzer all the time, I was sitting outside one evening at dusk. Elisa and I were talking, and I was playing with my, because I assumed that there would be a lot less blue light at dusk, and there was.
Yeah.
So there was a lot less blue light at dusk when I aimed the spectrum analyzer at the sky. But when I took it and I aimed it towards Elisa, there was this big registry of blue light. I was like, where the hell did that come from? So I turned the spectrum analyzer on, and I started moving it around. And I figured out that the light reflecting off of my blue jeans was causing this huge peak of blue light to be picked up. And I was holding it in front of my face because that's what I do. I go like this with it to see like what my experience would be at this point here with that object or something. When I went like this, that blue just blew up, and I was like, oh my gosh. So if I'm sitting outside at dusk and I'm wearing a bright pair of blue pants and I happen to be looking down at them, that's blue light is going to trigger my adrenals, and my circadian rhythm is going to be shifted, and it's going to go, oh, it's still daytime. We have to stay awake.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good one, and one that I actually I didn't think of, to be fair. So yeah, no, that's so true. And you don't want to be having that just that little spike of blue into your eyes at that time. Is going to be like, it's going to say to the brain, oh, it's morning time. Our clock needs to be synced to morning, which is high cortisol levels and low melatonin levels. So you're just everyone needs to be wearing them, Carl. We can't stress that enough. Like, it's not even a it's not
I don't even like the word hack. I'm tired of the word hack. So a dishwasher wasn't a hack. It was an alternative to washing dishes by hand. And it was required because we learned about sanitation and disease. So we learned we have to wash our dishes all the time. So this was a subtle change from the 1500 to 1600 and so on. Well, we live in a world with more artificial light sources encountering our day than natural light sources because we're indoors most of the time. Yeah. So it's not a hack. It's a necessity. It's not a hack. It's a necessity. That's what it is. It's like all the other necessities that we now have. We don't call them hacks because you need it. You got to have it in order to function properly. You need them. You absolutely do. There's no doubt in my mind about it. No doubt.
Absolutely. Should be in everyone's household. They really should. And eventually I think they will be, Carl. I think people will wake up, like it's funny because obviously, you know, we've had a conversation years ago about the keto diet, just sort of segueing a little bit now. And, you know, you've been talking about it for like 20 years. And I'm just now, it's funny because I'm starting to hear everyone in my office is going like, oh, there's a new diet, keto.
Keto. Yeah, I know. They're all going on keto. Yeah, I know.
So
and you look at them and go, where were you?
Where were you? What was going on? What was going on? So I reckon in 10 years time, this is going to be the new keto for people, but hopefully it will be, you know, one that sticks rather than just sort of being like the random.
You know the good thing about blue blocking glasses, and especially these blue blocks, and I'm endorsing these blue blocks because I've worn lots of other blue blocking glasses, but these are the ones that make me get a good night's sleep. It's very obvious to me. I track everything about my sleep. But the really good thing about these is that you can tell they're working. Just don't use them one night. Just don't use them one night. Just be like, oh, you know, I'm going to watch TV up until 9 o'clock and go to bed. I'll get to sleep. I'll take an extra dose of melatonin. I mean, I've experimented with as much as 50 milligrams of melatonin for every night for 3 nights. And so I know I'll just take more melatonin. Yeah, it gets me into sleep, and bam, I wake right back up around 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm wide awake, and then I can't get back to sleep, or I fall asleep till 4 and I wake up again. It all starts with putting these glasses on at 7 o'clock. Guarantees I got a good night's sleep ahead of me. Really?
Yeah. And I know a lot of people like think, oh no, it's all like sort of woo, and you know, oh, it's just a pair of glasses, and how can it work? But it's like until you try it, like it's like the best. I would think of, like you just said, like there, like, you know, you took melatonin for a while. Those aren't cheap to buy. You know, if you want to buy a $100 pair of blue blocks that's going to last you a lifetime, that's going to save you a lot of money in melatonin supplementation over that time. So it's a huge, you know, it's an easy, simple investment. You know, you get these glasses, they'll last forever. The tint won't wear off. It's all protected. It's done properly, and you know, you don't also like have to not wear them outside. You can go out. You can, if you're going to a restaurant, stick them on. You're not wearing some stupid Uvex pair of glasses.
Yeah, right.
And they will be a conversation starter as well. Like people will be like, oh, why have you got those glasses on? And then you can provide some.
Because I want to go to sleep in 2 hours. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's funny.
Yeah.
2 hours is like everyone awake a couple of hours.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. Go ahead.
And yeah, and that is really the rule of thumb. If you put them on 2 hours before you want to go to sleep, it's magic. You will be asleep. There's no doubt. I guarantee it. I tell you right now, you buy a pair of blue blocks and they don't work, send them back to me. I'll give you your money back because I've been wearing them for a year since you introduced them. I've been wearing them. I don't wear any other blue blocking glasses, and I have a ton of them. I have a drawer full of blue blockers that other people have sent me, and I don't even bother with them. In fact, I'll go up to the top floor of the house to get these instead of walking into the kitchen where I got a drawer full of them. Think about that. I just realized that. I just thought about that. Like those aren't even options. It's not even like, oh, I'll just go in the kitchen and get those. They're the same thing. No, they're not. They're not. So the website is BlueBlocks, BLUBLOX.com. They have so many nice styles there. You can choose something that you find appealing, stylish, that will be a fashion statement and not just something good for your health. SHR 15, SHR 15 will save you 15% off. How is shipping? Yeah,
so shipping is, there's 3 options for shipping. We ship free globally. It's a slightly slower shipping method because it's free.
But it's free.
Take about for the States, it normally takes about 8 days to arrive, which is fine to wait for free shipping. You can pay $6 or $7 and get an upgrade on your shipping, which will take about 5 days to arrive. And we also use DHL for express shipping. So if you want them in 2 days, we can do that as well. So there's a shipping option for everyone.
Just wait. 8 days is not a long time to wait. You're sleeping without them now. Like, wait 8 days and get them for free. That's the best thing.
That's what.
And then do you offer any type of warranty or any kind of anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a 30-day exchange and money back guarantee. You'll know within a few days. Well, you'll know within the first night. You'll know the first night. You will. You'll wake up in the morning and you go, I can't believe I slept so good last night. Holy crap. They weren't lying about this. Yeah, exactly. So that never happens, which is good. So look, if there's any, this is what I was alluding to earlier. You know, the customer service level with us is second to none. We know exactly what we're talking about. So even if you're struggling to understand when to wear them, how to wear them, and, you know, have some questions about, you know, the science behind it, then please drop us a line as well. You know, no matter how long, you know, once you join our family, you know, you're in it for life, and we're there to educate and to help people be optimal. So it's not a case of just here's some glasses, get on with it and do what you need to do. And one big thing that we do that no other blue light blocking company does as well, is that for every pair of blue blocks that we sell, we donate a pair of reading glasses to the charity Restoring Vision. So we have a binding agreement with them that we supply just not blue blockers, but a pair of reading glasses. So someone in the third world, so someone like, say, in Guatemala or somewhere that needs to wear reading glasses to sew, to provide an income for their young family, we support. And, you know, we've been in operation about 18 months now, and we've supplied about 8,000 pairs of reading glasses now to the developing world. So not only are you protecting your own health, you're actually giving back to someone that can't afford to even buy a pair of reading glasses just to work to provide for their family. So, you know, no other company is doing that. They're just, you know, mass producing them in China, selling them to you for a few bucks and just keeping all the profit. So, you know, we're into the ethical side of things as well here.
Very, very cool. The website is BluBlocks, BLUBLOX.com. I endorse these. I tell you, you are not making a bad decision. You're making a good decision if you choose these as your blue blocking glasses. And if you've already bought blue blockers and you just don't understand what all the fuss is about them, like, I don't get what everybody's talking about good sleep. I mean, I guess I sleep okay with them, but get yourself a pair of blue blocks. You got a 30-day money-back guarantee, and sleep with those for a week instead of your cheap blue blocking glasses, and watch the difference. Watch how different you feel. Watch how different you sleep, especially if you track your sleep like me. I mean, I'm a maniac about it. I know that sleep will keep you alive longer. Good quality sleep allows your body to repair. Nature didn't put stem cells in you so that somebody can suck them out and then inject them back into a tendon. Those stem cells are there to repair your body, and that happens during deep sleep, okay? That's where all the reparation is going on. And if you're not getting adequate deep sleep, at least 20% of your time in bed should be deep sleep. At least 20% of your time in bed should be REM sleep, and the rest can be transitioning from one of those states to the other, which is light sleep. If you're not getting deep sleep, your body's not being repaired. If you're not getting REM sleep, your brain is not being maintained. During REM sleep is when your body assembles memories and stores them away. It defrags the hard drive, it files things and goes, when we need this next time, it's over here. People who don't get good REM sleep, they don't have memories. They don't, well, I don't remember what did I do with that? Where did I put that yesterday? Yeah. It didn't get stored anywhere. So those two phases of sleep, heal the body, heal the brain. Very, very important. And you will improve the length of time you spend in both of those and the rapidity you get into them by using blue blocks 2 hours before bedtime. It'll change your life if you're not using them, and you'll think differently about your blue blocking glasses if you use these. That's my opinion.
That's well said. Yeah, I think that's absolutely spot on. Like, you know, there's so many people out there that say like, oh, I've got blue blocking glasses, they don't really do much for me. It's because they're the wrong blue blocking glasses. You know, that's why, you know, you need the most optimal. It's like taking a cheap supplement and saying it doesn't work. If you're not using the like laboratory grade, you know, high quality, scientifically backed supplement, then, you know, of course you're not going to see the effects of it.
Let me put these back up there one last time before we sign off. This is me looking at my screen without my blue blocks on. You can see plenty of blue and green wedge there. You can see that very, very easily. Then this is me with the same exact view with my blue blocks on. There isn't a sliver of blue or green in that image any longer. Look at that. They work. That's the important thing. Right? Everybody just wants to, people are willing to pay the right price for things as long as they know they're getting what they're being promised. Here's the proof right there. I did those right before tonight's show. Those aren't doctored. They're not photoshopped. No, I just did it right here. Click, click. And I said, I'll use these for the interview.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is amazing to see. Yeah, it's great, especially when you send these glasses out, and obviously got a pair to yourself, and I knew you'd be diligent and you test them and you do all these tests, and that's why I sent them. I'm not got nothing to hide, and I knew that somehow you'd find a way to look at them and you would be honest to people, because you're not about peddling something that isn't optimal, and you've tested it and it's shown that it does exactly what it says, both from the spectrometer and your personal experience as well, which is completely in line with all of our other family members as well that have tried them and have experienced the same thing: more deep sleep, more REM sleep, waking up feeling refreshed. And it's just worth taking us up on this offer as well, the SHR 15 code for 15% off. It's just it's the best investment you'll make.
Well, and you know what? So you're getting 15% off. Some people may think, oh, that's really not a lot. You should buy these at full price. They'll last you, if they last you 10 years, that's $9 a year that you paid for them for getting a good night's sleep every single night. I mean, exactly. Don't be hung up on the discount. The discount code is nice. It really is. So you're getting a little something extra, but everybody should have blue blocking glasses, and they should have Blue Blocks as their blue blocking glasses. And that's all I got to say on that. I'm not going to say anything else about it. All right, Andy, you're starting your day. I'm ending my day. I hope you have a very, very wonderful day there in Australia.
Thank you.
And we will see everybody. This is just a kind of one-off interview. So this is actually going to be blended into some other interview. But I will be on the air tomorrow with Coach Rob Regish for the Blueprint Power Hour. We'll probably run the audio portion of this on the second half of that tomorrow. All right, Andy, have a good day, brother.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
Okay, take care, and we'll see everybody tomorrow with more Superhuman Radio. Thank you for watching tonight.